We are just a few trading days into 2026, and we see that VU is already up 1.19% this year so far. XLC, which is the Spider Select Communication Services ETF, they're up about 0.5%, and Google's actually down 2% so far this year. If we zoom out, however, to 3 months, we see a much different story. We see over the past 3 months, the S&P 500 is up 3.69%, communication services is 1.13, and Google, which is in the communication services sector, is up 28%. If we continue that trend further, the past year, we see that Google is up 64.5%, its own sector 21%, and the S&P 500 18.3%. So communication services is outperforming the market in the past year. Google is outperforming both of them. The question is, can we find steal deals within the sector? Are there going to be stocks that outperform Google in the short to medium term and hopefully the long term as well? So that's what we're going to look at in this video today. If you get anything out of these videos, please consider liking and subscribing. Let's get into it. If you are new to this channel, what we do is we look at companies in various sectors with various themes, and we look at both growth and safety metrics, and we score them and we rank them accordingly. So what we're going to do is when we look at growth, we're going to look at the PEG ratio, which is the price to earnings to growth. We look at the forward PE ratio. We look at debt to equity, return on equity, return on invested capital, profit margins, 5-year projected revenue growth, 5-year projected annualized EPS growth, the free cash flow yield, and the 5-year forward PE. These are all strong indicators of growth if these companies have solid scores. And the first one that we're going to look at is ANGI's list, ANGI. Remember, PEG ratios, we want that to be under 2 to even give it a consideration. PEG ratios under 1 are fantastic. We see that ANGI does have a PEG ratio under 1. BZ, this is a company out of China. They are an AI company that they help people with their jobs. They help polish their resumes. There's a forward PE of 16.9 and a 5-year forward PE of 11.9. That's if they can follow through with 19% EPS growth. We also are going to look at EverQuote. EverQuote is an insurance shopping company. They connect people with various types of insurance. PEG ratio of a very low 0.4. No debt to equity to speak of. We have return on invested capital of 27.8%. Google does have very strong and solid return on invested capital. 5-year forward PE at a 14.2. For such a large cap, phenomenal, solid company like Google, getting Google today at a 5-year forward PE of 14.2 would be fantastic. That's if they can grow 17% every year for the next 5 years on average. Meta, we all know Meta. They own Facebook, Instagram, Threads, WhatsApp, etc. They're just a social media dominator. Revenue growth coming in at 16% expected for the next 5 years every single year. PEG ratio at a pretty decent 1.6. It's not under 1 like we would like for it to be. Debt to equity 0.3. 5-year forward PE coming in at 16.8. MOMO, this is the company Hello out of China. They are a social media company. Forward PE of 7.7 and a just absolutely low 5-year forward PE of 2.9. That's a fantastic number if they grow 31.2% every year for the next 5 years. Profit margins, not too special, 7.2. Return on invested capital, just 6.3. Return on equity in the mid single digits as well. So not too fantastic for Momo. NerdWallet, this is a company that gives small and mid-sized businesses financial guidance. One of the lowest PEG ratios we see at 0.3, a 5-year forward PE coming in at 2.3 if they can grow 42% every year for the next 5 years on their bottom line. So that's going to be a pretty tough feat. OPRA, we featured this on this channel before. They are a web browser that is dipping their toes into the AI space, coming up with an AI browser for folks. Debt to equity, basically 0. Respectable numbers all the way around. PEG ratio coming in under 1 at a 0.7. 5-year forward PE at 7.5. Pinterest, social media platform, return on equity, an astonishing 51.5%. Profit margins at a very healthy 49%. We see a 5-year forward PE coming in just under 4 if they can grow 18.8% every year for the next 5 years. SSTK is Shutterstock. This is a photo and video platform company. PEG ratio coming in also at 0.3, tying with NerdWallet. Forward PE at 6.7, and if they can grow 19% every year for the next 5 years, they will have a 5-year forward PE at 4.7. So we see a lot of single-digit 5-year forward PEs for these companies, some of the best in the communication services sector. TME, this is Tencent out of China. This is an audio social media platform. PEG ratio exactly at 1, so it's straddling that very nice value for the PEG ratio that we like to see. Forward PE coming in at a 19. Profit margins very solid at a 34%. Revenue growth, 12.5%. EPS growth for the next 5 years, 20.1%. A 5-year forward PE at 7.5. Upwork, this is a company that connects businesses to employees and professionals. PEG ratio just under 1. Nothing highlighted in boldface type, so nothing's really a standout among its competitors. But we do see across the board debt to equity under 0.6 or under 1 at 0.6. We like that to typically be under 0.8. Return on equity, pretty solid, 47.5%. But when you compare it to Pinterest, 51.5%, not as good, but still pretty solid. And we see a 5-year forward PE coming in at a 6.3. And finally, we have Yelp, the reviewing platform. We see that they have free cash flow yield at 16.8%, and that's their shining number for their numbers as well. But we also see no debt to equity. We see a PEG ratio of 0.6, solid companies. So before we get into the scores, what we do on this channel is we rate companies between -10 and +10. -10 is an absolute garbage company, and +10 is the greatest company in the world. 0 is neutral. We're going to go in reverse order. We're going to see that Angie's list comes in dead last at 2.8. Again, we like these numbers to be higher than 5, so we're not going to be too terribly excited about Angie. SSTK Shutterstock, that is just at the 5 mark. MOMO, the app Hello out of China, that's also coming in at a 5. OPRA at a 5.6. That is the web browser and the AI browser. We have Meta coming in at a 6.1, so it's above 5. We like to see that. Typically, Meta has been scoring much, much higher in the past few months, and it's kind of had a little fall from grace, at least in the scoring category. We will look at their intrinsic value in a bit to see where they come in for that. Google also coming in at 6.1, so we see that the big dogs, Meta and Google, are smack dab in the middle of the pack. Tencent is coming in at a 6.7. BZ is the AI jobs and resume company coming out of China. They have a 6.7. Upwork coming in at a 7.8. NerdWallet also at a 7.8. We have EverQuote, the insurance shopping company. That's 8.3. Yelp at an 8.9. And Pinterest at the top of our list for a 9.4. Now, these are not solid safety companies. We will see that in a bit when we look at their dividend yield, their dividend growth, etc. But we are going to take safety into consideration because we are seeing all-time highs in the market. We're seeing various companies reaching their personal all-time highs. People are very bullish in the market. And as Warren Buffett said, you want to be greedy when others are fearful and fearful when others are greedy. And so that doesn't mean we're going to pull out all of our stocks. It doesn't mean we're going to sell everything and wait for the next big crash. So we are going to be rather discerning with our money. So we're going to look at safety scores. We see that Angie's List does not have a dividend yield. We see BZ does not have much of a dividend yield. They're at 0.6%. No dividend growth, no consecutive years of dividend growth. Payout ratio at a very small 9.6, so they can probably continue that dividend. EverQuote, no dividend really to speak of. Google, they do have a 0.2% dividend yield. They've grown it for 1 year in a row. Payout ratio at a 7.9. That's very low. That's very nice. That's what we like to see to maintain those dividends. Meta's coming in at a 0.3. They have grown their dividends 5%, and they have grown their dividends for 2 consecutive years. Very small payout ratio, so they're probably still going to be able to not only pay those dividends, but very likely grow them as well. MOMO, Hello out of China, that's a 2.8% dividend yield. They did cut their dividends recently, almost in half, so we don't like to see that when it comes to safety. NerdWallet does not really have any dividend to speak of. OPRA does have a 5.6% dividend yield, but they have not grown those, at least as far as we could tell from our numbers. Pinterest does not have any sort of dividend yield. Shutterstock does. They offer a 7% dividend yield. They've grown their dividends 10%. Now, we are very concerned about an almost 100% payout ratio. Can this 7% dividend yield be maintained if so much of their capital is going toward dividends? That will give us something to consider when we look at intrinsic values. TME, Tencent, they do offer just less than 1% dividend yield. They have grown those dividends 1% for 1 year. Payout ratio in the mid-20s, that's pretty good. They can probably maintain that dividend yield. Upwork, no dividend, and Yelp, no dividend. So When it comes to safety scores, we want to have a little bit of that cash flow into our accounts. We want that dividend yield. We want return on assets. We want a decent current trailing 12-month PE ratio. And we also still want low debt to equity. ANGI's list also at the bottom of the safety scores coming in at a 1.4. Meta's coming in at a 5 for safety. Nothing too special, but they do have that dividend. Same thing with Google, a very low, small dividend, but they are paying that dividend with a low payout ratio. And so they can probably maintain that dividend. The AI jobs and resume company out of China, BZ, also coming in at a 5. Tencent, slightly higher at 5.7. We do see Tencent has the 0.9% dividend yield, and they have grown it with a very respectable payout ratio. So they are ticking up a little bit higher in that department. Shutterstock, we see that they're coming in at a 6.4. Hello is coming in at a 6.4. Upwork at a 7.1. OPRA coming in at a 7.1, and the final ones, NerdWallet is coming in at a 7.1, which is actually quite interesting because when we look at NerdWallet, we see that they don't have any dividend yield. We are not considering their payout ratio because they don't have a dividend yield, but when it comes to our scoring, we are seeing that their 5-year forward PE coming in at a very, very low 2.3 is really helping their numbers out here. They also have a pretty solid current PE ratio. They have okay return on invested capital and return on assets, which is why they're higher on this list. EverQuote, same sort of story. They offer no dividend. Therefore, the payout ratio is not penalizing their score right now, but a very low 5-year forward PE at a 4.4. Return on invested capital, the highest of the group, 27.8%. That's fantastic. And then the top two are Yelp and Pinterest, both coming in at a 7.9. So just a reminder that nothing that we say on this channel should be considered financial advice. We are not telling you to buy, hold, or sell anything in your portfolio. Always do your own research and your own due diligence. Speaking of which, we have videos linked in the description of this video showing you how to build out intrinsic value calculators. If you ever want to look at something that you want to own, some sort of company, it's not the price that it's being sold for on the market. What's really important is the value of that stock, what we call the intrinsic value. And so if you look in the description of this video, you'll see 4 links to 4 different intrinsic value calculators that we have built out on this channel. And I go step by step showing you how to build those out. One is the PE ratios model. We also do a dividend discount model. If and when a company has a solid dividend, which most of these companies don't, we do a discounted cash flow, and we do the PEGI ratio, and we do some manipulation to show that that's what's called the Peter Lynch intrinsic value. So finally, what we've done is we've looked at the intrinsic value of all these companies. We looked at the average of all the valid intrinsic value calculators, and we see that ANGI's coming in dead last. They have an average score of 2.1. And we're not even going to bother with their intrinsic value because their score is so low at a 2.1 that that's something that we're not going to hold. Again, we typically only buy companies when they have scores of 5 and higher. ANGI comes in lower than 5 on both growth and safety. Google comes in just over that 5 mark at 5.55. They're basically trading for fair value. Meta's coming in next, also at a 5.55, almost trading for fair value as well. You are buying Meta today at a 1.3% premium. Now, Hello is expected to grow their EPS by 31% in the next 5 years, every single year. That seems to be a little bit bold. However, even when we use 15%, we see that intrinsically MOMO is coming in at $22 per share. Now, that's probably unrealistic for the next 12 months or so, but we are using basically that EPS estimate cut in half. And so we are getting a 69% margin of safety based on our analysis, has a score of 5.7. Shutterstock also coming in at 5.7. Slightly less margin of safety, but probably a little bit more realistic at 45%. Currently trading for $19 per share. Intrinsically, we think it is 35. BZ coming in at 5.85 on an average score. Intrinsically, $21, basically trading for that in the market right now. You are getting a very small 5% margin of safety. Tencent, price is $18 per share, intrinsically 22, so it is spot on that 20% margin of safety that we look for, and it has a pretty decent score coming in at 6.2. OPRA trading for $15 per share. We intrinsically think it's $20 per share, coming in at a score of 6.35. That gives us a 26.7% margin of safety. NerdWallet, more than a doubling from here. So currently trading for $13 per share. We think intrinsically, based on its growth, it's $28 per share. That gives us a 52% margin of safety. Upwork, $20 per share, intrinsically $28 per share at a 7.45 average score and a margin of safety of 27.6%. That looks to be an attractive potential purchase. EverQuote, Another 51% margin of safety, coming in at a higher score of 7.7. Prices $25 per share, intrinsically $51 per share. Yelp surprisingly comes in with a very, very high score of 8.4, margins of safety around 60%, currently trading for $31 per share. Intrinsically, we think it is $76 per share. And finally, Pinterest. It has the highest score, coming in at 8.65, very high growth, pretty decent for safety, as a matter of fact. Margin of safety at around 40%. And so what we do on this channel is we don't invest in anything that has a negative margin of safety. And so we can just completely eliminate these from the running. Also, we don't consider anything that has a score under 5. Typically, we have made exceptions in the past, but we will consider everything else. And we see that if we were to invest a hypothetical $100 into these companies, we would invest them accordingly. Remember, we like margins of safety 20% or higher, and there's only one company that does not fit the bill, and that is BZ. So if we took that one away as well, we're only investing 1% of our money into that company. But if we were to take that out, we would see the following distributions of our capital. So 14% into Hello, 9% into Shutterstock, etc. So not financial advice, not telling you to buy these companies necessarily, but it does give you some food for thought, something to consider for your own portfolio. So if you got anything out of this video, again, please like it. Please subscribe to the channel. We are building out the Interflame Finance family and community here on YouTube. Appreciate you watching. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your mother-in-law about this channel. Let's all build some wealth in 2026. We'll see you in the next video.